Interim, it's Tony. How are you? So I have been doing quite a few things. So I am trying to get my jurisprudence done. So I got to do the application for that. I'm gonna try and get that wrapped up, the application, this week, cause I want to take it by next month. So I can do that. Decided I am not washing my hair today. So that's that. Cause I got up and I was gonna go out earlier, get food, come back, wash my hair. And then my dad and my stepmom came over, and then I was showing them about the Ancestry.com, which is another thing I ended up doing this weekend. So last week it was the jurisprudence stuff and things like that. So pretty much I'm done all of those things minus 2 things. And so I can send the application in, hopefully get it done. Hopefully everything gets processed by the end of this month. Do the test next month. Blah, blah, blah. By my birthday, I'm licensed. So there's that. And then another thing I did was I went on Ancestry.com. So I am Black, if you don't know. And I don't want to do Ancestry DNA just because it got a little weird stuff about owning your DNA and shit like that. And I'm just I'm the literal physical being that holds this DNA. I'm understanding how you can hold my DNA and own it. I'm not really understanding how that happens. So F that. But what I will do is go through Ancestry.com and do my family tree. Now, why am I doing this? I just want to do a lot of reparative justice for my family when it comes to ancestral lineage and just historically being, what we are. A lot of just enfranchisement, a lot of hard lives being lived, a lot of just energy and people never really being free to do what they want. And I think it's so funny because I'm going to do another video on this, but not being free to do what they wanted and truly be who they were based on the society that they were in at the time, and perhaps their own mindset given what they had experienced in life. I just find it really important for me to close those timeline portals of struggle, mental, emotional, financial, all of the things. So I wanted to kind of just know who they were, because I don't really know a lot of my ancestors. Now I do, but I knew my great grandparents, stuff like that, but I didn't know anything really beyond that. I think I knew a second great grandmother, and that was it. And so yeah, I started Saturday, today's Sunday, 2 days, it's not even 2 days, it's been 24 hours worth of it's been 24 hours since I started. So essentially I went through, and I basically tracked family tree. It was a lot of work, it was a lot of clicking on things and looking at things, but the information that I found out really put into perspective the kind of blessing that I have of being alive and being able to choose stuff that I really want to do and where I really want to go. And I don't know, it just gave me a good perspective of being okay with where you come from and then pushing forward for the future so that you can grow and develop and flourish, and you can each generation keeps moving beyond what the previous generation did, but also just energetically pushing beyond and being a part of that, being a part of the present, right? But then also building for the future, and then through that work being able to be in the future, right? Not just physical descendants, but the stuff that you lay foundations for, in the future, your business, what you wrote, your artwork, stuff like that. It comes up, I guess, on topics of why people do what they want to do. Yeah, they want to get I watch a lot of business stuff, and one of the business people talks about because people never got the attention they needed to from their peers or their family, usually their psychological needs were never met, primarily as children, and then just as adults you just kind of learn that your needs don't get met. A lot of people go onto social media looking for that attention, but I also would like to add for that a lot of people are out here putting their shit out there into the world, and we're doing it at such a rapid rate now is because I think there is an underlining like death, knowing that we could go at any moment, and let me make my mark in the world before I go. Because I mean, compared to like an oak tree, like life is really short for humans. Like the lifespan of a human is like 70 to 100-ish years, and most of us are probably somewhere at like the 70-ish on the younger end of that. And so it's like there's a knowing that you want to have meaning in the world, and you want to know that your life like mattered. And not to say that your life didn't, like people's lives didn't matter far back in the day, but we really, to be honest, we are really more interested, focused, appreciative of the people who we do recognize and who we do know. No one really appreciates, even if it's your own ancestry, the person who you never know, was never named, was kind of like an ink blot in history. And you know, there's billions of people like that, well, millions of people like that, from back then. And so I think we are trying to put our marks in the world to be seen and to show that we are meaningful, and we have meaning, and we have something that we're offering to the world, that will push society forward as far as like its ideas, its ideals, because we're putting something out there that is going to interact with someone else's like psyche and someone else's like, yeah, someone else's psyche, to like shift them. And that shift really could be impactful later on, even if it's not within our lifetime. Versus, I think, the more labor kind of way that we've seen people that are more faceless. Like there's a lot of people that have to get us from point A to point B, especially in olden days, millennia ago, stuff like that. There's a lot of people who were laborers, who were fishers, farmers, and stuff like that. But it's almost like that that labor is unseen, and yeah, it's therefore taken for granted. And so people write and they sing and they do art and they do things because they want to be known now. And so I think that consciousness, awareness of being seen, of meaning, of intellectually or psychically, emotionally, physiologically moving the world is something that is very deep in our consciousness. And I think death culture kind of comes into that. But anyway, I've done some ancestral stuff. On one side, I was able to get into the 18th century, and on the other side, we got into the 19th century, like mid-19th century. And so that's pretty goddamn good, like, to me, because I mean, there's some people that like you can't even go past the turn of the century, like the 1900s, because they don't know anyone. So it's pretty good. But yeah, it was like a lot going on. So I basically, I'm gonna stop for right now, because it's now that we got to the point where like we kind of don't have any more leads, so to speak. Like we may have to like start actually going to like state archives, city archives, as opposed to like ancestry.com and like other websites. You may have to like physically go there. And so like that's like years in the making, right? But I am really happy about where we are. I'm doing a womb, like I'm trying to wrap up a womb class, and a lot of the wounding, WOMB, wounding, I could see it in my like family line, a few of the things, and just energetically feeling a lot of the stuff. Kind of sad. But I'm gonna try and wrap that class up, because I really want to start new classes and courses and get deeper into my calling, or whatever it is that I'm doing here. I gotta do another video on that. I'll do that after this. But yeah, so I'm doing that. I'm gonna try and finish that up this week also. And yeah, so thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later.